In today's interest rate markets, let's take a look at the 10-year note futures as they're realizing some renewed strength here today. We are seeing the 10-year note futures now up 3 out of the last 4 sessions. But overall, honestly, a relatively quiet session today when you look at the price action from peak to trough, holding in the middle of the 132 handle, 132.13 currently. So we are seeing, again, a little bit of upside here being realized today. And when you look at some of the factors playing into why I think we're continuing to see some adjustments here over the last few days where we are seeing a little bit of strength here in the 10-year note futures. A couple of things. I think, number one, the data points coming out, particularly today, were underwhelming. The market seemed to react to them as far as when you look at the rate environment, where we did get housing starts and what else? Building permits, and both those numbers came in well below expectations, so that helps support some of the futures markets in the interest rate environment, the treasury markets. So I think that's part of the reason why we did see some upside today. Couple that with also just the general tone coming out of the Fed speakers that we've received over the last several days, continuing to indicate that they're not seeing enough at this point to change their narrative, holding true to the line that they are going to remain accommodative for the extended period. So I think that's another factor why we're seeing a little bit of a comeback here in the futures markets over the last 4 trading sessions. And I think also, to some degree, why we're seeing a quiet day today is we do get the Fed minutes tomorrow. So a lot of traders will be eyeballing those minutes once they're released to see how the dialogue went during the meeting, and that could have an impact on the futures markets after we get that release in the middle of the day tomorrow. Looking at the yields, 164 basis points now on the 10 years, so basically unchanged on the day. Like I said, we're up slightly, but when you look at the yield curve today, it is interesting. We are seeing it steepening today as we're seeing the back end of the curve actually selling off a little bit, the front of the curve rallying, so therefore we're seeing those prices on the 2s, the 3s, the 5s, the 7s, and then the 10s to some degree rallying today. And then you get to the 20s and 30s and you see a little bit of selling pressure. So therefore we're seeing that yield curve shifting higher as rates are a little bit higher on the back end and they're a little bit lower today during the price action on the front end.